educator's Shell to learn about some turtles. Can you tell us who you have today?
Yes, Dune, we have Kris Kringle here. Kris Kringle is a Florida box turtle.
Is there something wrong with his shell? It's a little different from this one.
Good observation, Dune. The Florida box turtle normally has a shell, just like the picture here on this side, right there. And it's more rounded than Kris Kringle's, but he got hurt. Something happened to Kringle, we're not exactly sure what, but he's kind of smushed. And if we see on the other side, Dune, normally a Florida box turtle can close himself up. He has this amazing hinge and it moves. Can you see that? So this little turtle is supposed to be able to pull his head and his feet in and close himself up just like a box. But Kringle here, Dune, he can't do that. So we're not able to release him back into the forest.
So we have all kinds of turtles here that we have to keep in captivity because they can't defend themselves like they would normally. Can you tell me about the other turtles we have?
Yes, our main mission here at the Marine Science Center, when we get a reptile in, and it could be a sea turtle, it could be a box turtle like Kris who lives on the land, or it could be like this shell here in the picture that Dune has here. This is the carapace, the back, the shell of a gopher tortoise. These are the ones that make a hole in the ground. You've probably seen a burrow when you've been out walking. We also get river and lake turtles, which are the ones behind us right here. And the difference between these turtles, Dune, do you want to show us this sea turtle? Look at these wonderful flippers. These are like, you and I have arms and hands. They have these wonderful flippers for swimming. So the sea turtle is swimming in the ocean. The river and lake turtles will be in the lakes and the rivers, but they have some webs in between their claws so that they can swim, and they also need to be able to, like the turtles here in the behind us, they're climbing on the rocks to get nice and sunny and get nice and warm. Kringle here, if you notice, look Doom, he actually just has claws. Can you guys see that? So he lives on the land, he lives in the forest. He's going to be foraging around for food. Do you know what his favorite food is, Dune?
I don't. What is it?
Do you like strawberries?
I do.
He loves strawberries. Do you like worms?
Not so much.
His second favorite food is worms. I like gummy worms. I think those are kind of good. So he eats meats and vegetables, so he's an omnivore.
Oh, okay. So for everyone around the center, what can we do to try to keep these turtles safer and to keep trash and things like that away from them? How can we help?
That's right, Dune. So sea turtles love to eat this. What's that?
Oh, a jellyfish.
Ooh, yummy, yeah. So if you were a sea turtle and you saw this in the water, what might it look like?
Looks just the same as a jellyfish.
Right. So sometimes turtles eat trash thinking it's food and it gets stuck inside them. They get tummy ache. They don't feel so good. They have what's called intestines, which are the long tubes going through to the other end. We know about that. And when the trash gets stuck inside them, they're not pooping. And they get lots and lots of gas built up. And if you hold this turtle up and have him do this, other way up, bum in the air, boop, there you go. That's what we call bubble butt in the trade. And the bum is in the air because they've got so much gas in their intestines. So they're not able to dive down in the water and go catch their food. So when this happens, they actually cannot catch food and they get hungry. We call that starving, emaciated, very thin. Their blood sugar levels go down and they also get dehydrated. So they float in and we find them here in the hospital. Do you know what we have to do with them, Dune?
What do we have to do then?
We have to look inside them. Do you know what they call that?
Oh, I know we find all kinds of things in them though.
We do. They call it an X-ray when you actually take a photograph inside the turtle. It's pretty amazing to see what's inside there. Sometimes it's fishing line, sometimes it's bits of plastic, sometimes it may be hooks, and we have to try and figure out how to get that out. And we give them medicine to give them diarrhea.
Wow, so almost all the things you're finding, they were avoidable if people just disposed of them properly?
That's right. Whenever you're out and about on your walks at the beach or in the forest or anywhere out in the environment, if you find some trash, pick it up and dispose of it properly. You're right, Dune. He's very active, isn't he?
He is.
Yeah. We also know he's a little boy. This is kind of cool. Some turtles underneath, he's got a little bump. You see that little indentation? He's active today. That means he's a male. If it was flat underneath, he would be a female. sea turtles, it's kind of harder to tell. The males have a long fat tail when they're fully grown, and these kinds of turtles, and sometimes you can see them at this time of the day, the boys have the long fingernails and they fight the other boys, but they'll go up to the girls and they'll go, hey. They tickle the girls' cheeks to get a girlfriend. So it's this time of the day when they're usually doing that. All the turtles in the tank behind us, boys and girls, have to stay with us forever because they have some kind of injury that they're not able to go back out into the wild.
So since we're taking care of them constantly, what kind of life expectancy do they have here?
Good question, dude. This little guy, even for a little turtle, maybe 30 or 40 years.
Wow.
You have, I think, one of the, let's see, where's the other one? Oh, here we go. This was somebody's pet tortoise. Look at that one.
Wow.
That's the leopard tortoise. Those can live, get this, 100 years.
Wow,
Could
they
you?
outlive us.
Yeah, I know. Could you imagine having a pet for 100 years? That's a long time, isn't it? So it's a big responsibility when you think about owning a turtle. You have to do your research. Sometimes it's better to maybe get another type of animal.
Well, at least we know here they're in good hands.
That's right, Dune, that's right. Our main mission is to help them get better and send them back out into their own environment. But sometimes, like Kringle, when he can't close himself up, we have to keep him here.
Can you tell me how we wound up with a name like that?
Kris Kringle, well, box turtles typically have a little kind of a white tinge underneath their mouth right here. And so we think he looks like Santa Claus.
Oh,
So he got his name Kringle after that.
Does Kringle have teeth, or does he have a jawline more like this one here?
He has a jaw more like this is the skull, they're bones of a loggerhead sea turtle. And he doesn't have teeth, he has a serrated jaw just like this one. So it's very, very rough.
What kind of foods would they need something that sharp for?
Well, the loggerhead sea turtle, when he is an adult, he loves to eat crustaceans and crabs. So he needs pretty strong jaw to operate the mouth. Yeah. And in the back here, Dune, when you see these two cavities right here, there was muscles in there to operate that jaw to be able to crush a crab. But in the tiny space here, sea turtles have a pea brain. Their brains are very small. This is why they often mistake things like this for food.
So if we ever encounter a turtle that's in trouble, what should we do to help it?
The first thing you should do is, if you see a turtle on the road, for instance, a box turtle, a gopher tortoise, or even a river or lake turtle, safety first. Human safety is always the first thing, and then you would have mom and dad help you. And if the turtle is walking across the road this way, you would be very, very careful, because you see even Kringle has got very sharp claws. Be careful of the claws, hold them on the side of their shell. Don't go near the mouth, because everything with the mouth could potentially bite you. And be careful of this end, because typically when you pick up a turtle in the wild, he's going to get very frightened and he'll pee on you. So you may get wet feet. So turn his bum away from your feet. But you should just take him across the road and put him on the other side of the road.
Okay.
You don't need to take him in the car, Dune.
Wow, you just need to transport him where he needs
Right.
to go and let him be?
Yes, you don't need to take him in to a lake or to put him in the ocean. Some people think that they should put all turtles in the water. Some of them don't live in the water. So just take him to the other side of the road, make sure he's off the road, and put him down and leave him be. Of course, if he's got some kind of injury, if he got hurt, you should always bring him to a place like the Marine Science Center, and then we take care of them until they're ready to be released.
And it's important that they don't stay in the road because their shell is something so precious to them. I know in this one, you were showing me examples. Can you explain what this is here that we see?
Yes, Dune, good thinking. This is actually a sea turtle's carapace, and this right here, these are ribs. This is the vertebrae. So everything's connected to the shell. And like we said before, if a turtle gets something stuck inside him, we can't take the turtle and cut into him here because we do more damage. That's why we have to give them medicine to try and get them to actually pass it. So we give them medicine to give them diarrhea. That's what we do. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for telling us how to keep them safe and all of the things that we can do before they make it here, because we do our best once we get here, but it's best to keep them in the nature.
That's right, Dune. Definitely.